Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Erika. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I missed you. For today's video, I'm going to be covering the case of Lizzie Borden. Guys, this case is so crazy because the house where everything went down at, it's actually one of the most haunted houses in the US. And you can actually stay there. It's a bed and breakfast. They have a museum. They give tours where everything happened. And yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. This happened in Fall River, Massachusetts, by the way. Lizzie Borden lived with her sister Emma, her stepmom Abby, and her dad, que se llamaba Andrew. La mamá de Lizzie falleció cuando nomás tenía 2 años. So her sister Emma would always be looking out for her, being a really good big sister. Lizzie was born on July 19th, the year 1860. Fun fact that I want to share before I get into it is that people or kids, I don't know, dude, but they made a nursery rhyme about this case. It's fucking creepy. By the time that this happened, Lizzie was 32 years old. It was the year of 1892. Lizzie's family was known to be a pretty normal family with a successful dad. I'm gonna call him Mr. Borden. His name is Andrew, by the way, but I'm gonna call him Mr. Borden so we won't get confused. He was a really successful man. He was an investor in real estate, in banks, and he had several businesses. People did think it was odd that Lizzie and Emma, que todavía no se habían casado. Porque imagínate, si hoy en día, si no te has casado or if you haven't had kids, there's people that judge. Now imagine back then in esos tiempos, oh my god, olvídate. So dude, people found that weird. Lizzie's dad had a bunch of enemies because he was so successful and because he was stingy. Dicen que ese señor era bien, pero bien codo. In fact, Lizzie and her sister Emma hated the house that they lived in porque se les hacía muy chiquita y era tan codo that he wouldn't pay for electricity or plumbing. Like, dude, it was that bad. And to be honest, I took a look at the house and I'm like, bro, that doesn't look that bad. I feel like a house that big in LA would be like, the rent would be like 5-6K. Pero no sé si las casas allá están así más grandes. Así que no sé, pero se les hacía muy chiquita la casa. They had other girl cousins that were rich as well. Pero las primas, ellas sí vivían bien. They lived in big, beautiful mansions. They always had the best, trendiest dresses. Y se daban lujos y era algo que Lizzie y su hermana no podían hacer. Now, the relationship with Abby, the stepmom, it wasn't really there. Emma and Lizzie se la agarraban contra ella porque decían que a lo mejor era una pinche vieja interesada. And she would just go out with her dad para sacarle dinero. And they got even more suspicious when they realized that Mr. Borden was gifting real estate to Abby's family. Like, dude, imagínate regalar casas. And they were like, bro, my dad is doing that cuando estamos viviendo pa la chingada. So that's that. They didn't really like Abby, the stepmom. But let's talk about Lizzie. Lizzie, people say that she was a very classy girl. Everyone knew that her dad was very successful. She would participate in church a lot. She was part of a Christian union que que la neta no sé qué es eso, pero I did my research and apparently she was part of that. También dicen que she would make food for the less fortunate around the holidays, like for Thanksgiving, Christmas. Oh, dude, and she was also a teacher on Sundays. Así que todos se la daban de que Lizzie era una santita. Porque ay es de iglesia, ay es maestra. Bro, people assume people are saints just because they go to church. Going to church does not make you a good person. So fast forward the night of August 3, 1892, most of the Borden family didn't feel well. They claimed to feel really sick and they thought someone had poisoned them porque seguían vomitando and they felt really weak. They did go get checked, pero los exámenes salieron bien. It just turned out that they were sick because they were eating really old stew, which comes to show how stingy Mr. Borden was. Como que comían la comida hasta que estaba súper echada a perder. Like, dude, ¿qué les costaba comprar otra cosa con todo el dinero que tenían? Like, bruh. Later that day llegó un tío que se llama John and he's staying in the guest bedroom. John went over because he was going to talk business with Lizzie's dad. And that same day, Lizzie goes over to her friend's house. They say that her friend lived next door and her name was Alice. Y le dice that she's scared that something bad is going to happen because her dad has a lot of haters. Now, the next day comes. It is now August 4th. There was 5 people waking up in that house. It was Andrew, the dad of Lizzie, Abby, the stepmom, Lizzie, obviously, Uncle John, and the maid, her name was Bridget. Lizzie's sister Emma wasn't there because I believe she was spending the night at a friend's house. Así que despertaron, todo normal. Uncle John left to visit some friends. Lizzie's dad left to check on his businesses. The maid se quedó ahí limpiando, que de por sí, pobrecita, she still felt like shit. Dicen que estaba vomitando while she was cleaning, porque ella también se había enfermado because of the stew. And Abby, the stepmom, was cleaning the guest bedroom. Lizzie's dad came back and he laid down in the living room. He also was not feeling good from the night before, and Lizzie told him that Abby left to visit a friend that was sick. The maid was still doing housework and Lizzie was ironing. That's when Lizzie goes to the living room and she screams because she finds her father dead. And dude, he looked unrecognizable. Oh my god. His face was destroyed. Like, seriously, the pictures I saw of him are one of the most disturbing pictures I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was that bad. Parece como que le pegaron en la cabeza, but they wouldn't stop. So Lizzie's screaming and she's like, my dad is dead. She tells the maid to quickly call a doctor. The doctor gets there. They're looking at Lizzie's dad like, yeah, he is definitely dead. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he was. I don't even know why they called the doctor. And that's when Lizzie goes upstairs because she's like, oh, I'm pretty sure Abby is home by now. I'm gonna go check up on her. And Lizzie finds Abby dead in the guest room. Abby también. Her face was completely destroyed. They say Abby's face was even worse. The doctor did notice that Abby's body, it was already cold and the blood, it was already kind of dry. So it seems like if whoever did it, they killed Abby first and then Lizzie's dad. Porque el papá de Lizzie, he still felt pretty warm and the blood was fresh. They said that it looks like if they struck him with an axe. Like if they struck both of them with an axe, but Lizzie's dad, they struck him about 10 or 11 times. And Abby, it was about 19. That's fucking crazy, dude. Por eso tenían la cara toda disfigurada. Pues imagínate, they just kept going. What a sad way to die. Lizzie said that someone that hated her dad could have came in and killed both of them. People also said that it could have been a homeless person que se la llevaba afuera de la casa. But the maid says that she never heard nobody come in. But what she did hear was Lizzie laughing. That's creepy AF. Y también Lizzie told the maid that if she was going out that night, to make sure to lock the door. So the maid thought that was a little sus. It was the talk of the town. Imagínate, everyone was like, allí la hija mató a su papá. Ay, no, no manches, qué pinche miedo. Lizzie also kept changing her story. Primero dijo that she was ironing before she found her dad. And then she said that she was in the backyard and that she heard a groan and that's why she ran inside of the house. But Lizzie got away with it, because a few weeks before the incident, she had gone to the doctor and they have prescribed her morphine. So they kind of blamed it on that. Something crazy that I think, like, dude, they could have found out easily if she did it or not with this. But back then, the investigators, they were so limited. Y no sé, siento que la gente estaba media pendeja back then, if I'm being honest. Because they would believe everything, you know? But they found blood in Lizzie's skirt. And you know what Lizzie said? She was like, oh, it's my period blood because I'm menstruating. They also found something that's even worse. No, dude, because you're gonna think this one is crazy. They found a bucket full of clothes that had blood. And you know what Lizzie told the investigators? She told them once again that she was menstruating and she got stained. So she was gonna clean those clothes. If someone were to say that nowadays, that would be like turning yourself in. Like, they also found an axe in the attic. Y dicen que parecía que estaba quemado because it had ash on it. So I'm pretty sure she tried to clean it by burning it. And then other people said that maybe she made sure to put ash on purpose para que se mire como que estaba guardado for a while. On the year of 1893, on June 3rd, Lizzie Borden was arrested and she started her trial. And something that a lot of people noticed is that she never cried. Because you would think someone that lost their parents or their dad in a tragic way, they would have been crying. Pero ella no soltó ni una lágrima. And something that people found interesting is that they took the skulls to the trial. Yeah, dude, like the cabezas. They were obviously destroyed. Y cuando las enseñaron, Lizzie fainted. Everyone was like, why did she faint? Is it because she feels guilty? Is it because she's just sad? Or like, what's going on? A lot of people did testify against her. Someone went in claiming that Lizzie had gone to a pharmacy a day before the incident to try to buy prussic acid. They say that you can apparently use that to poison people. And that when she tried to buy that, she was wearing a blue dress. That's when her friend Alice said, you know what? I remember that blue dress from the day before. And it's even more sus that Alice saw Lizzie burning that dress on the kitchen stove. Lizzie said that her reason for burning that dress is because she got paint all over it. Y su hermana Emma, she butted in and she was like, actually, I was the one that told her to burn that blue dress because that's how we get rid of things. Que la neta, quién sabe if her sister Emma was backing her up this whole time. Overall, they claim that there was no physical evidence that proved that Lizzie did it. So she was found not guilty. Aparte de eso, people say that she had the best lawyers, and the fact that she was very involved in church, pues le ayudó un chingo. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think that Lizzie Borden did this? Because I feel like it's pretty obvious that she did. Now, her purpose for doing this, I wonder what it was. People say that her purpose was money, porque ella y su hermana ya no aguantaban vivir así. And people did find it sus that as soon as her dad passed away y ya pasó todo eso, en chinga, they bought a 14-room mansion on French Street, which is one of the best neighborhoods. Ya después de eso, a lot of people didn't like Lizzie because they believe she did it and they didn't trust her. She was known as the girl que mató a sus papás. They actually banned her from church as well. And I heard that a lot of kids would go to her house y pasaban como, ay, ahí vive la loca, and they would throw rocks and a whole bunch of shit to her door. So it definitely ruined her reputation. And well, yeah, they say Lizzie would travel a lot, throw a lot of parties. They also said that she had a girlfriend that was actually an actress, but quién sabe if that was just a chisme. But they say that her sister Emma got so tired of Lizzie throwing parties that they had a fallout. People say that Emma did say once that her and Lizzie went through a lot of traumatic things. So to be honest, who knows what happened? Some people say there was probably incest involved, or que su papá, that he would SA them, but who knows? I feel like that's something we'll never know. Porque dicen, güey, ¿cuál era el motivo to go that far and do something like that to your dad? And to be honest, that's true. I think there was something else more than money. Yeah, I think there had to be another motive besides the money thing. Lizzie and Emma later passed away the same year on 1927. They did both get buried next to their father, which some people found kind of disrespectful if Lizzie did commit the murders. But like I said, who knows? Now, there are a lot of conspiracies that I wrote down. One of them is that it was the uncle, since he was using the guest room and Abby was actually cleaning the guest room. Y aparte de eso, they said that the uncle went to go talk business with Lizzie's dad. So what if something went down, se emputó y los mató? Quién sabe. Another one is that it was Emma. She was at a friend's house, but she could have done that to be sneaky. What if she did it and then she left and she was like, oh, I was at a friend's house? I don't know. Who knows? And then the maid. They say that the maid was probably really mad that they kept making her work, even though she was sick and throwing up. I think que le hacían el feo a la maid también, because the maid's name was Bridget, but they would call her Maggie because the previous maid that they had, her name was Maggie. And I was like, bruh, ¿qué les cuesta aprender un nombre nuevo? But they were too lazy. So they would just call her Maggie. Like, how entitled. And then other people said that Andrew had another son named William, and he had problems with his dad over the stepmom as well. So he killed him. Overall, this story is fucking crazy because whoever did it, they did it on daylight. How the fuck did they clean up all the evidence like that? Because you would assume whoever did that with an axe, they would be full of blood. That would be a bloodbath. No sé, la verdad se me hace bien raro. Even some people thought that if Lizzie did it, she did it naked. But then they did find clothes with blood. But then she said that it was her period. You see how this case is so confusing, but then again, it's pretty obvious that she did it. But yeah, guys, like I said, comment below what you think because I would love to know your opinion. Yo, la neta, I think that Lizzie did it, pero no sé cuál era su motivo. And yeah, guys, this is it for today's video. Also, before I forget, I am working on something for spooky season, so y'all better be ready. Cause, dude, it's so cute. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!